everybody. So I'm going to be doing the Saint of the Week for you right now. Not really the Saint of the Week, because I decided to do something a little bit different. I decided to be a little bit lazy and take advantage of all my 3rd grade friends and a couple of my 4th grade friends. So instead of doing any actual investigation of saints myself, I decided to show you our 3rd grade Saint Hall of Fame. So wait till you see what's in store for you guys. Oh my goodness, everybody, that was simply amazing. Didn't you just love our 3rd grade Hall of Fame of Saints? You guys did such an amazing job, so many beautiful pictures, so many interesting reasons why you chose these saints. And I was unbelievably impressed by you, and thank you, because you gave me all my information and I can continue to be lazy. So this is the deal. I'm going to talk about a saint that I know a lot about. And the reason I know a lot about him is because this is my son's name, St. Francis of Assisi. This is who we named my son after, and also his grandma. And so St. Francis of Assisi, lots of you already know him. You see him with all the birds on him. He loves creation and nature so very much. But that wasn't always St. Francis. St. Francis was very, very rich. He was this fancy soldier and this wonderful nobleman, and he loved being rich. He loved having all the pomp and circumstance, fancy clothes, everything else. And when he was in the war, he was a prisoner of war. He was captured, he got wounded, and he was very, very sick. But it still took him even after that to come to God, to come to his conversion. But when he did, he wanted to give up all of his money. His father was like, well, those clothes on your back are mine. And so he actually took all of his clothes off in the middle of the square, and everybody was like, what's happening? He's gone crazy. A lot of people thought he was crazy, because why give up all of your money? But he was called by God. He was in a church in San Damiano, and he believes that the Lord on the cross spoke to him. And what the Lord said was, Francis, rebuild my churches. And Francis was like, how in the world can I do that? But he did. He went out into the world and literally, stone by stone, rebuilt the churches. And he was amazing. And he believed in very strict poverty. And he's just said, this is the rule. We need to live by the gospel. Just live by the gospel. And Jesus told his apostles, just walk. Just walk with your sandals, don't take anything. And that's what he believed. And that's what he told all of the people that joined him. He had a group of people that joined him, but there were also women called the Poor Clares who also joined him. And you heard a little bit about them when my friend Claire told you about them. So St. Francis was a man of deep, deep faith. and all he wanted to do was give his life to God. And he truly believed that he was in union with everything that God created. And so he believed that we needed to be more like the birds and the flowers, because if they could depend on God, so should we. If they believed every day that they were going to be fed by God, watered by God, we needed to put our trust in God. And so that's why I love him so very much, because that's what we all need to do. We need to place our trust in God. I'm going to close with a saint that I never heard of in my whole born days, but thanks to my pal, Charlie Smith, I now know all about him. So here we are. This is a saint I've never heard of in my whole life. And all the French people out there, I apologize if I say his name wrong, because I don't know how to say his name. We're going with Saint Roch. And Saint Roch, Charlie chose this saint long before any of these problems that we have. But believe it or not, Saint Roch is actually the patron saint of plagues and pandemics. Kind of what's happening to us right now. And so when he was about 20 years old, he became orphaned, and he decided to go on a pilgrimage from his country of France to Rome, Italy. The pilgrimage is kind of like a holy journey, right? A very prayerful journey. And on his way, he came upon this town that was plagued by this disease, and many, many people were dying. And he stayed, and he healed people simply by the sign of the cross. That's how he healed them, through the power of God. And so people were amazed. And unfortunately, he actually contracted the disease as well. But he prayed and he was healed by God. As he traveled, he came upon other cities that also had this disease. And everywhere he went, this plague was dispersed. This plague was put to rest because of him and his healing powers through the Lord. And so he's the saint we kind of need right now, isn't he? Because right now, we're plagued by things, actual things like COVID-19, but also scary feelings in our heart and in our mind. And so I'm going to close with this prayer that we have for him. So you ready? Because I think we're going to have it over here so that you can pray with me. All right? So let's do this. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Blessed Saint Roch, patron of the sick, have pity on all those who are suffering. Your power was so great when you were in this world that by the sign of the cross, many were healed of their diseases. Now that you're in heaven, please intercede for us and offer our sighs and our tears to our loving God, and obtain for us the health of body, soul, and mind that we seek. We ask all of this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Big amen. Amen. Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you guys. Have a great day.